I've been working on a way to attach a small camera onto the bottom of the Heli Viper, so as I fly around I can actually take videos of what the Viper's seeing, a Viper's eye view, so to speak. I use this FlyCamOne device. I don't know if you've seen these, but this is a slightly older version now. It's the version 2, and this fits my Velcro underneath 450 and 500 class helicopters, and it's great. Provides a reasonable video and quality. Saves it down onto an SD card in the side, but it's way too heavy for the Heli Viper to lift. So I went out and got myself one of these small key fob cameras off eBay for about £5. Usually comes with a little keychain attached, and it runs off a small micro SD card. Attaching this to the bottom of the Viper with some Velcro actually looked okay because it's about the same size as the Viper. The challenge was that the actual flight was tricky because it would only just about lift off just under full throttle, which didn't leave me a lot of throttle if I was flying around and needed to compensate for a drop in altitude. When I weighed this thing with all the battery and everything else inside of it in the case, it was 14 grams. So I knew that 14 grams was about the maximum that a Viper can lift. I needed to get rid of some weight. First thing I did was to take the case off by undoing the 2 screws at the bottom, which are here and here. The case comes open, and then the main board is connected via 2 more screws, which are very visible as soon as you crack the case. That board is made up of the main board, which includes the camera, and also quite a large LiPo battery. The LiPo battery weighs about 6 grams, and the case weighs about 4 grams. So without the battery and without the case, the camera was weighing about 4 grams. The challenge was, how do I power the camera if it hasn't got the battery or the case? The great thing about this is the battery that is on the this keychain cam is actually a 1S LiPo, which is exactly the same as inside the Viper. So what I did is I bought some lossy connectors and I connected them so that the male and female are basically back to back, and the wire that came out of that connected onto the main board, replacing the main battery connections. Now what this has meant is that this whole thing just weighs just under 5 grams, so just over a third of the original weight, but operates in exactly the same way. So the way I connect this onto the Viper is turn it upside down, pop it on, and then use one of these Velcro straps from one of my other models to connect it and secure it onto the bottom. Then one side connects to the Viper for the shunt, and then the power connects to the other side. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, it's struggling to focus, and that powers the Viper and then powers the camera. While I've been doing this, I'm just running a little bit of video that I shot in the back garden. Quality isn't fantastic. This was a very cheap version of these cameras. There are lots of different versions available, including right up to HD recording. This isn't. This is kind of VGA standard, so it isn't brilliant. But what it does allow me to do is to set up and take video while this thing's flying around. It provides lots of throttle response, it isn't too heavy, and it doesn't affect the flight characteristics of the model. The nice thing about this as well is that the key fob cost me about £5, and the battery connectors cost me about £2.50. So for less than £10 I now have a Viper that I can take video with. Hope that's been interesting. Post any comments or questions you might have. Thanks for watching.